Hi guys, it is August 5th. I'm going over some of the trades that I took today. All I did today was short-term trade. The rest of the day I had kept my charts closed and turned off. So, looking at the rest of the day coming back, it looks pretty choppy and just not a whole lot of action going on. You can see a spike in volume just at the end of the day. Nothing significant really happened coming into that. So it was probably a good day to do what I did, just take the morning and short term. But I'll show you the trades that I took and why. And in particular, look at the pictures in the market review today that discuss the strength in our TCs and the examples I gave you, because this was a good discussion we had in the Traders Club this morning, and in the Traders Room we had some questions about that. The first trade I took right off the bat was here. The market opened right here at 9:30, and at first, this is a 2-minute chart by the way, at first it pushed up. It did what I call the early morning fake out. It created basically a double top type of dealio here, where this pre-market kind of touched down here, came up, touched again, and then momentum carried it down. I was taking this trade a little bit as a momentum trade, a little bit as not so much a stair step trade, but a double top here. You can see these points on the TC, or the lower tricks indicator here, giving it a slight slant downward. But this is the thing that I was going up. That's not enough for me to want to take a trade, but the momentum certainly was on this particular trade, especially because I know what the early morning fake out tends to do in the Russell. So if you hit it right, it tends to run a bit, and that's what I was basing this off of. I had a little bit of a support area right here, and I actually ended up taking it slightly earlier than what I would normally say based off of a kink entry. But I was going on the break of support, so I took it in here. Actually, I think I was in at 655.5 actually. So I got in here and I got out here for a half point. I was doing a half point on this simply because I was taking more of a risky trade and I just wanted to take a conservative profit out of it, and something I didn't want to go crazy trying to get a huge profit out of this. But the trade did run, and if you had taken this based off of a simple kink entry, your entry should have been down in here, probably around 655.3 or so, and it ran a 1.5. It looks like it ran just a little over 1.5 points your way, which is what, 30% on your margin. Half point, 10% on your margin. So that was a good little trade right off the bat, right there. Boom, that's all you need. The market pushed up pretty quickly here, but even with a push like this, gosh, it is so hard for a lot of people to see the market run so far in any given direction, like it did this here, and say, stay out of it because there's not a place to enter into it. That's a real difficult thing sometimes, and I struggle still sometimes with wanting to get in when there's really not a good reason to. Well, this is the thing here. When we've got a real reversal happening, you have to wait for those patterns to form before you can take any entry on this. In this instance, I had to wait for my mat and stair step to cross again. I had to wait for a good market pattern to develop here, and the MACD. Of course, I took the MACD off of this just to make it easier to see everything, but you have to wait for the MACD to get in position. All these things have to line up before you have a high probability trade, and that's the key to these trades here. It ended up being a little bit of a range going on here, bouncing back and forth. And one of the things you can do to tell whether or not you're in a range, or if it even has strength enough to break this range one way or the other, is what your tricks indicator is doing. If you can see here, and this is kind of what I started noticing right off the bat here, all these tails, all these shadows on these candles are showing slowing down in the momentum. I knew that this trend was starting to peak out. When it did peak out, look how high we are up here in our tricks. The market goes down, then it comes back real strong, But again, look how low it's come now. So it's gravitated through the 0 line already. We've lost a lot of momentum behind this. Do you think that this is going to kink back up and be able to break this previous high in the tricks? Very unlikely now at this point. So what I'm looking at developing here is possibly a double top with a huge bit of divergence going against us, a reversal signal, which it pretty much did. It pretty much took a reversal, ended up hitting this support level and bouncing back. Resistance level, bouncing back. Support level, bouncing back. All the meanwhile, our tricks is starting now to gravitate in an upward slant. So it is showing some strength in wanting to break and continue going long or up. And that's what it did right here. This, however, did not, whoops, sorry about that. I always hit that button. This, however, did not give us a good enough signal to want to play this going long. I actually think one student did, but he may have been looking at this a little slightly differently. And actually, I think that was on the S&P that he was trading. So things look different there. I'm going to just briefly mention the second trade I took was right here. Going short, made another half point on that and called it a day. We have a nice TC here, good slant, very nice slant here, and then the following stair steps here and here, look at the slant sloping off here. I did not take those because the tricks was not showing the strength behind them. However, they look good up here, they just don't look as good down here. And that's the thing that I'm going to address in the notes below this video. If you have any other questions about the morning's trades, I'm not going to cover anything else for the day. It was rather slow for me. I don't see anything significant to talk about there. But if you have something you want to talk about, let me know and I'll be happy to address it.